So, first, before I get into the title, seven do's and don'ts, and believe they're not seven do's and don'ts a piece, but combined, these are just seven tips you should look for. And I just want to say before I get into the do's and don'ts that today I had a call um, with someone who found me on LinkedIn, and I was giving a consultation about their marketing strategy. And when I tell you, like, I know that the best use of your time is not always spent one on one. I got so much energy from giving advice and sharing my knowledge and experience with this potential client that I may take on a small group of one on one clients. So that led me to this um, the topic of this live stream, which is what to consider or seven do's and don'ts when hiring a social media manager. One, do ask how many platforms do they work with? Number two, don't give admin rights to someone to post for you. You should have a social media platform posting tool. They should be added on as a user, but especially for Facebook, do not give someone admin rights because that means that they have the same rights as you. And if that relationship goes bad, they could wipe out your whole page or anything, you know. So make sure that you have control over your posting. And do ask if there's a difference between done for you content or simply posting your content that you provide to them, because there is a big difference in that. And it's more costly if they do it for you and they develop the content versus you just giving them the content and having them post for you. Do ask how often do they post per month, per week, and per platform. Number five, how often are you going to provide a status report? Far too often, me and one of my besties, who's also a digital marketer, often talk about client previous hires or potential. And even if they've been burned by other people before, when you're giving them value, um, I tend to ask questions, and a lot of times they don't know the answer to that because they have been burned by people who claim to be marketers and they really aren't. So how often are they going to provide a status report of your growth, your reach, your engagement? You should ask them that up front. So do ask about that. Do not allow a social media management company to set your pages up for you. You should be setting up all your social media platforms yourself and then giving them user or a user rights or editor rights, but do not have a social media management company set up your platforms for you. Because if you decide to sever that relationship, then there goes your platform. There goes your access. So maintain some control, but set up your social platforms initially yourself. And uh, and so do ask about the platforms. Don't give your admin rights away. Do ask about the price difference between done for you content versus you giving content. do ask how often do they post or how much posting do you get for your monthly fee, and do ask how often do they provide a status report, and don't allow a social media management company to set up your accounts initially. Make sure you do that yourself. And number 7, which I feel like is so important, number 7, if you have a social media management company running ads for you, social media ads, you need to ask them how often do they plan to provide you a report? Is it monthly? Is it biweekly? Is it quarterly? Some companies only give you a quarterly status. And why this is important, because if you are not getting a return on ad spend and you have them run your ad campaign, you need to know if you need to stop. Is it profitable for you to invest the money in the ad spend? And you need to know, is it effective, most importantly? So do ask how often will you get a report, especially if your social media manager is running ads for you, especially as it relates to Facebook ads or Google ads, however that may be. You need to know what your return on ad spend is and if it's effective. So I hope these tips have been helpful for you. Um, when I was talking to the potential client today, uh, I just, so many things ran through my mind. And this is just a small snippet of things that ran through. I explained what a pixel is, asked if there was a Facebook pixel. And one thing that I was very that made me happy, and then I'm going to go. One thing that made me very happy is that um, the client said, "We've had people help us before, but I can tell that you're very passionate and you're very knowledgeable about marketing." And so I could probably talk about marketing 24/7. So that made me happy, very happy. So I will share some of these on my new podcast, The After Work Entrepreneur, when I start talking about sales and marketing. But be careful out there when you're hiring professionals and you're considering outsourcing. Please be careful and think of these do's and don'ts. So until the next time, this is Kathy E. Smith.